Okay, here we go. Good morning, everyone, or so everyone understands me, GM. I'm Belma, and today I'm going to talk about privacy, specifically practical privacy. So if you're building a privacy app or if you are integrating privacy flow into your existing products, then I hope you have some takeaways today. Is this the thingy? Okay. So really to appreciate the time where we are today, a lot of exceptional teams are building privacy protocols today, but that wasn't always the case. Like back in the old days, the audience was fragile, and I mean the audience was small, and the ecosystem was also like fragile. Especially when we had the case with Tornado Cash, the largest privacy protocol that got sanctioned. That was a large hit because a lot of people were afraid to use privacy apps or were even afraid to build ones. Luckily, that's not the case anymore. And today we have a lot of teams and working groups that are building different privacy flows, and we also have like demand from institutional side, which kind of adds up nicely into kind of building better privacy protocols. Why? Because we're not there yet. Like we still have a long way to go for privacy that feels natural and for privacy to kind of be everyday. So yeah, as I said, I'm Belma, short bio. I've been in the space for a while, so seen a lot of bull and bear markets, seen a lot of buzzwords and a lot of different things. So we're going to be fine. There is light at the end of the tunnel. I'm also a founder with Successful Exit, as I had my own dev shop. And for the last couple of years, as I worked at ChainSafe, I've been deeply involved in open source protocol development and Web3 infrastructure. There's a little bit of text missing here, but if you ever need to reach out, you can do so on belma.io. And I recently started a blog writing a little bit about privacy. It's privacyonethereum.com. Hopefully there will be more posts soon, but I'll post the presentation and contents of this website, of this presentation after the conference there. So yeah, even as a technical user, I tried to use privacy tools and I got lost. I mean, not fully sense lost, but like I had my doubts and question marks along the way. And I had to go and look at the protocol docs, even GitHub, to see like exactly what it is trying to do and kind of what's expected for me to do. It's not like I was, laundering millions of dollars, but it's still like when you're using an app and you're not sure what you should do, it's a weird feeling. I know there is a powerful cryptography in behind, but the interfaces are confusing. Let's go maybe through an example. Let's say you have a friend that asks you, hey, I want to make this donation privately, like make the transaction private. Like, what would you tell them? Like, what? I mean, there is no obvious answer how this should be done. At least, not really today. And well, you'll have different answers for every person you ask. But first step is usually that the user will have to go out of their way, like out of the normal wallet transaction, or like outside their MetaMask wallet, and go to a specialized app, specialized website place, and then download something there or do a setup there. So that's the first step, but it is what it is today, and maybe in the future that will change, but that is the first step. And then second is the kind of, once you go and download, there is the whole onboarding part. So it kind of feels like you're new crypto user all over again. So it's like create a new wallet, import an existing wallet. Like I don't want another seed phrase like what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, you end up creating a new wallet and then you have to fund it. Remember, I just want to send my transaction, my donation privately. But then I have to shield it. Do I shield the full amount? Do I shield a partial amount? Like there is still a lot of kind of a doubt. And that doubt is also always along the way when you're proceeding with the transaction. Note, I mean, if you're recognizing any of these apps, it's just the one that I regularly use, but they all look the same, so it's not about them specifically. So you have like, oh, withdrawal address, can I still use the same one or do I use this one? I'm not sure. What does this anonymity set mean? Okay, I have all this data, great statistics, very good, but how do I actually use it? Who should relay my transaction for me? Should I do it? So there's like this kind of a doubts and feeling along the way, which is, you know, never nice when you're just trying to make a transaction. So privacy today feels like expert mode. It's like we've given all these extra options to users, so you know they can fly the plane themselves, but usually users just want to go from A to B and not fly the plane. And the data shows this because yeah, there are definitely a few different papers and analysis on a similar topic. So I chose this one. So what it is about? So a little while back, the Umbra protocol, researchers analyzed transactions on it, and it showed that half of the users on mainnet didn't actually know how to use it. I mean, they were de-anonymized, meaning they lost their privacy. And this wasn't just because of like very advanced behavioral analysis. No, this was just like simple address reuse. I think the results were even worse on L2s, which kind of shows that a lot of people that are using privacy apps today, I mean, I don't know what they're actually trying to do, but I doubt they're using privacy apps to just kind of merge the identities. So yeah, it shows really kind of the complexity, how it should be taken. And this can kind of led me to conclusion that really privacy UX is different, because in normal apps, still call them normal, but like if you're sending transaction today, as you are in your wallets, like once you make the transaction, send it, it doesn't get reverted, great, you got what you wanted. You don't have to second guess it. But if you're making a private transaction, you send it, it doesn't get reverted, you get a green check mark, but there's no feedback loop on privacy. There is really no second chance if you did something along the way that could lead to reducing your anonymity. So yeah, that's why this kind of a privacy part is really another kind of complexity or layer of correctness that should be taken also on top of transaction stack. So yeah, privacy is not yet another feature. It's not like you just take the privacy flow, integrate it, it works technically, but because it can still expose the user. And we are used to kind of assigning methods, key managements, permission prompts, those all to be kind of taken more seriously today, and they're part of the security model. And I think privacy preserving UX should be done the same way. So yeah, thinking about it, like what, if we're already building privacy flows, like what if we have like different success criteria for them? Like what if we have kind of evals to ensure that really users are getting the output that they needed? So that means, for example, we could check if, we as kind of uh, app providers, builders, we could check if boundary was preserved at the end. So, for example, if user managed to withdraw to a deposit address, that means that was reused, like similarly to Umbra Cash or even to a publicly known public wallet, that means that the identity has been merged. It's very obvious that's the person, especially if they're withdrawing the full amount. So in that case, kind of our app has failed because the boundary hasn't been preserved. Same as if, for example, user is doing like repeated transactions, doing the same amounts, same wallet all the time. This means that linkability is increasing. So in that case, that would be a failure as well. Rather simple one example: has the visibility been explained? So did the wallet, my product, whatever, explain the private state continuously throughout the app, so the user knows what's kind of going on and what's the visibility. So yeah, that means that builders should really stop asking like, how do I present the protocol action? So if you have a deposit function on your smart contract, it's not like making that deposit button in your UI, but rather start thinking, how do I stop users from accidentally publishing the things that they wanted private in the first place. So going on the potential solution paths, like what builders could be doing today is fix the onboarding. Don't let the user be confused on the very first interactions. So fix the onboarding, maybe. This is kind of just really ideas and brainstorming. Start with user intent. So recognize what the user is trying to do, or ask the user. Because it's not the same if someone is just kind of going to receive payments, receive their salary anonymously, or they are doing a private DAO vote, or they're doing that one transaction, one donation. So detecting kind of personas during this onboarding phase will lead to less clicks for user, but also like lead for you the settings to kind of maximize their privacy. Sorry for a longer text here, but just to kind of add a few more things on that note. So default settings, or kind of a default mode, how those apps are used. I mean, default mode is the primary way how users experience apps. Like no one goes first on advanced settings or file settings, whatever, and change things there. They just go and use the app. So making the safe behavior the default is important. For example, you don't need to ask on every transaction if you want it to be relayed the transaction yourself or by external relayers. That kind of can be part of the default settings. Similarly, we could treat privacy breaking actions as kind of a warning, set suggestions and minimum. So if user is withdrawing to that known address, or it's reusing the address, we could at least warn that or even prevent that. Yeah, definitely a lot more things that we could be doing today that's just not necessarily like technical blocker. So think of privacy review, similarly as we have today transaction reviews, where we have wallets and now they're giving us these kind of warnings if we're interacting with unknown smart contracts. We're doing transaction simulations. We could be doing similarly for privacy. So having a kind of a privacy section within privacy transaction confirmations if there is a certain risk or not. So really, we want to be kind of designing this for a majority of people, for a majority of use cases, not just experts. As users should not work hard if they want to stay private. So if you want to achieve functional private transactions, then it should be really easy for everyone. And in the future, I really like the kind of analogy of HTTPS. So the secure connections that you have now every day when using your browsers, they are the default behavior. Similarly, we could see that private transactions could be the default behavior inside the wallet. So if you're doing kind of a public mode, like vice versa what we have from today. So if you're doing a private transaction, then okay, no one cares. But if you're kind of not, if you're doing like HTTP, which is an unsecure kind of a connection, you get all these warnings. So in kind of a world today, HTTP is the kind of unusual thing, and secure connection is kind of the normal behavior. We could be seen as, we could do that the same for transactions and change that sentimentality and UX. Because yeah, today, if you're making private transaction, you must be doing something weird, which is really not the case. And of course, users can always, opt out if needed. And this will kind of lead also to a larger user base, larger anonymity sets, which also kind of increases the practical anonymity part. So yeah. Really like the analogy again, and one can hope we get to that stage. So yeah, thank you for today. Enjoy the rest of your stay here, and I think we have a few minutes for the questions. So if anyone has them, feel free to ask, or along the hallways, or anytime.
I have the first question. Okay, so you're talking about privacy, and I have a thing that is going around my mind, that we have the SDK that Vitalik launches on Web3 privacy in November on Buenos Aires. And I have been no traction around that on most of the wallet builders. And I was asking myself why these tools that are already available and easy to implement, like Kotaku SDK, are not being, they don't have the enough traction.
Yeah, to answer kind of directly the question, there is no traction yet because it's not ready yet. Everything is still very alpha stages. I'm not sure if they have like early users or not. I mean, everything is open source and visible, so you can also like peek into the current code. A lot of it is on development branches, but you can peek also like in Figma a little bit. So I think they're still like figuring things out, and it's highly in development. But also I think it's a great initiative because we kind of have this like role model wallet. I hope that's what it will serve. And also like SDK for easier integration, which we both don't have today.
Hi. So apart from using paper wallets that I generate myself and MetaMask, what do you recommend for everyday use?
What do I recommend for? Yeah, I mean, I think whatever one is kind of using. There's really
there's no good answer at all right now.
Not really. I mean, I still make a lot of things like publicly and everything. I mean, not to like share a lot of details, but about my personal OPSEC. But yeah, it's not like you don't know something that exists really, and it's great. So sorry to disappoint.
What level of the stack do you think is responsible for privacy? Because I mean, you have chains, which is like HTTPS, that's the protocol that everything's, and then you have wallets, and then you have apps. So who should be responsible for building privacy native UX?
I think easy answer would be really wallets, because that's also like a moat for them. It's value add for them. I mean, in the future, Ethereum is promising to have certain things on a protocol level. So it's, today that's obvious answer is wallets, but it will merge and probably kind of a spread that there is a little bit of functionality on the protocol level, which also like helps wallets. But yeah, but when it comes to like, simulations or kind of a, transaction analysis, I think those could be like third-party tools. Like if I had a hackathon, for example, I would build that. Okay, I think we're also like a little bit out of time. So thank you, everyone, and enjoy.